Salam Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, dan salam kebajikan. Good morning, everyone. To our respect, Prof. Dr. Anang Kristianto, SSOS MSI, SDN Faculty of Economic and Business, State University of Surabaya. To the respect, Dr. H. Muhammad Khairul Anwar, SAKMEI, SDN Deputy of Student Affairs and Alumni, Faculty of Economic and Business, State University of Surabaya. To the respect Dr. Andre Dwianto Wicaksono, STMSE, as the Master of Management, Faculty of Economic and Business, State University of Surabaya. To the respect to Mrs. Yuyun Isbana, SAMSM, as the Management Study Program Coordinator, Faculty of Economic and Business, State University of Surabaya, and respect to the all participants that present to this meeting, namely Agile Leadership in the Digital Era. I am Wika Indah Nur Aini, will be the Master of Ceremonies for today's meeting, and it's my pleasure to guide participants here through this special occasion. Firstly, I would like to say utmost gratitude toward Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala for letting us together in this event with good and stable state of health. Ladies and gentlemen, before we start, allow me to read out the rundown for our agenda today. We will begin our schedule with first, recitation of a prayer, second, singing national anthem of Indonesia and Mars UNESA, third, opening ceremony by our Dean, fourth, main event, guest lecture themed Agile Leadership in the Digital Era, and the last one, fifth, closing. Okay, get into our first agenda. To commence our meeting, please to Mr. Khairul Rozak SASYMM for the recitation of a prayer. Please to Mr. Khairul Rozak SASYMM to lead the prayer.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bapak Ibu sekalian, mari kita berdoa bermunajat kepada Tuhan Yang Maha Esa. Izinkan saya memimpin doa dengan cara Islam. Untuk Bapak Ibu yang beragama lain, mohon menyesuaikan. A'udzubillahi minasyaitonir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahumma shalli wa sallim ala sayyidina Muhammad walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Hamdan syakirin, hamdan na'imin, hamdan yuafi ni'amahu wa yukafi mazidah. Ya Rabbana lakal hamdu kama yanbaghi li jalali wajhikal karimi wa 'azimi sultanik. Allahumma a'inna ala dzikrika wa syukrika wa husni ibadatik. Allahumma shalli ala sayyidina Muhammad salatan tunjina biha min jami' ahwali wal afat wa taqdilana biha min jami'il hajat wa tutahhiruna biha min jami'is sayyi'at wa tarfa'una biha indaka ala darajat wa tubalighuna biha asnawiyati min jami'il khairati fi hayati wa badal mamat innaka ala kulli syai'in qadir. Allahumma fir lana dzunubana wa li walidina warhamhuma kama rabbayani shaghira. Ya Allah, ya Tuhan kami, segala puji untuk-Mu pemelihara alam semesta. Segala puji atas karunia dan kenikmatan yang Engkau limpahkan kepada kami. Segala puji atas keagungan-Mu, segala puji atas kemuliaan-Mu dan kekuasaan-Mu. Ya Allah, ya Fattah, ya Razak, kami berkumpul di Zoom meeting ini dalam rangka melaksanakan kuliah tamu dengan tema Agile Leadership in the Digital Era bersama Ibu Harnida Wahyuni Adda, SMA Ph.D. Memohon kepadamu, izinkan dan ridhoilah kegiatan ini. Kami dengan cahaya hidayah-Mu, permudah dan lancarkanlah kami dalam melaksanakan semua kegiatan ini. Ya Allah, ya Fattah, ya Alim, Zat yang menggerakkan takdir kami, bukakanlah pintu hati kami dan pikiran kami semua, agar bisa merasakan semua ilmu yang akan disampaikan dalam kuliah tamu hari ini. Ya Allah, ya Qawiyyu, ya Aziz, berikanlah kepada kami kekuatan lahir dan batin, agar kami siap dan membantu mengimplementasikan ilmu-ilmu yang telah kami dapatkan dari Bapak atau Ibu dosen kami. Ya Allah yang Maha Mengetahui yang gaib, bimbingkanlah kami dengan hidayah-Mu, berkahilah kami selalu dengan takdir-Mu, dan jadikanlah hati kami selalu ridho dengan pemberian-Mu. Ya Allah, hanya kepadamu kami melakukan pengabdian, dan hanya kepadamu kami memohon pertolongan. Anugerahkanlah kepada kami tekad, kekuatan, keikhlasan, lindungan, dan bimbingan untuk menjalankan amanah sebagai insan akademik yang bekerja dan berkarya demi pengabdian kepadamu semata. Ya Allah, ya Ghaffar, ya Qahar, ampunilah segala dosa kesalahan kami, kedua orang tua kami, dosen-dosen kami, dan terimalah permohonan kami. Allahumma inna nas'aluka salamatan fid din wa afiatan fil jasad wa ziyadatan fil ilmi wa barakatan fil rizki wa taubatan qoblal maut wa rahmatan indal maut wa maghfiratan ba'dal maut. Allahumma hawin alaina fi syakaratil maut wa najatan minan nar wal afwa indal hisab. Rabbana la tuzigh qulubana ba'da idh hadaitana wa hab lana min ladunka rahmah innaka antal wahhab. Rabbana atina min ladunka rahmah wa hayyi' lana min amrina rasada. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanah wa qina adzabannar. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun wa salamun alal mursalin walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Bismillahil Fatihah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, thank you to Mr. Rosa. As our second agenda, we are going to sing the national anthem of Indonesia Raya and Mars UNESA. Please do the operator to play the anthem. Okay, thank you so much to the operator. Move to our next agenda is the opening ceremony by our Dean. The speech is from Dean Faculty of Economic and Business, State University of Surabaya, to Prof. Dr. Anang Gistianto, SSOS MSI. The time is yours.
Terima kasih Mbak MC. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat pagi, salam sejahtera untuk kita semua. Yang kami hormati, yang kami muliakan, narasumber kita hari ini, pagi hari ini, Ibu Wahyuni Ph.D. Terima kasih telah berkenan berbagi ilmu pengalaman kepada kami. Yang kami hormati, pimpinan EPB, para wakil dekan, Ketua Program Studi S2 Manajemen, Bapak Ibu dosen Prodi S2 Manajemen, yang kami muliakan teman-teman peserta kuliah tamu Program Studi S2 Manajemen EPB Indonesia. Alhamdulillah, puji syukur kita panjatkan kehadirat Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, Tuhan yang Maha Kuasa, atas karunia-Nya dan izinnya, kita masih diberikan kesehatan, kekuatan, dan digerakkan hati kita, langkah kita untuk hadir bersama walaupun secara daring, kuliah tamu dengan topik yang sangat-sangat relevan untuk fenomena saat ini maupun di masa yang akan datang. Bapak Ibu yang kami hormati, era revolusi industri 4.0 tidak perlu kita perdebatkan lagi, karena pada hakikatnya sudah kita rasakan semenjak pandemi COVID-19. Era VUCA yang menandai revolusi industri 4.0 sudah kita hadapi, sudah kita rasakan bersama dengan frekuensi yang berbeda-beda dari waktu ke waktu, frekuensinya semakin meningkat. Ketidakpastian itu menjadi hal yang lumrah, perubahan-perubahan itu hal yang menjadi wajar untuk saat ini. Sehingga kita dituntut untuk bisa sat-sat wat-wat, ya, cak-cek ya, dalam menghadapi perubahan-perubahan, dalam melaksanakan tugas-tugas. Sehingga di sini penting Agile Leadership diterapkan di kondisi saat ini, menghadapi era revolusi industri 4.0. Topik Agile Leadership ini topik-topik yang baru dan relevan untuk masa kini dan masa yang akan datang. Belum banyak riset terkait dengan topik-topik ini, sehingga di samping nantinya kita mendapatkan ilmu pengalaman, mungkin juga penelitian-penelitian terdahulu terkait dengan Agile Leadership dari Bu Wahyuni, mohon juga bisa dijadikan inspirasi untuk mengangkat topik-topik ini menjadi topik riset, khususnya topik tesis. Saya kira ini sangat-sangat penting dan punya potensi bisa publikasi di jurnal internasional berreputasi, karena topik-topik ini adalah topik baru dan relevan untuk kondisi saat ini. Terima kasih Bu Wahyuni yang telah berkenan hadir, memberikan sedekah ilmu pengalaman terkait dengan Agile Leadership, mudah-mudahan memberikan manfaat untuk kita semua. Dan kami juga mengundang Bu Wahyuni untuk terus bisa berkolaborasi dengan kami, anak-anak kami, untuk publikasi riset terkait dengan topik-topik ini. Baiklah, dengan mengucap Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, kuliah tamu program studi S2 Manajemen Fakultas Ekonomika dan Bisnis Universitas Negeri Surabaya dengan topik Agile Leadership in Digital Era kita buka. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Terima kasih. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, thank you to Prof. Anang for the speech. And come to the main event today is guest lecture, theme Agile Leadership in the Digital Era. And this guest lecture will be filled by our speaker, Mrs. Harnida Wahyuni Adda, SMA Ph.D.
Okay, thank you very much.
So we just go directly to the talk.
Okay, I'm sorry, Mrs.
So we
Thank
just,
you.
oh,
I'm sorry. Okay. Thank you for Miss Prof. Anang for the speech. And the next agenda is our main event, is guest lecture named Agile Leadership in the Digital Era. And this guest lecture will be filled by our speaker, Mrs. Harnida Wahyuni Adda, SAMA, Ph.D., who will be led by our moderator, Mr. Muhammad Rizky Ramadan, BBUS METHM. To Mr. Rizky, thanks, and place is yours.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Muhammad Rizky Ramadan. BBUS MHM is gonna be your respectful moderator for this guest lecture. Before we just gonna start our lecture, I would like to have a brief descriptions on the CV for our guest speaker. She is Harnida Wahyuni Adda, SEMA Ph.D., and she was born in Ujung Pandang in March 1975. And she's actually have a respectful historical record in terms of their educational backgrounds. She went to Universitas Tadulako, Palu, Sulawesi Tengah, and she went to Flinders University in Adelaide, Australia, and also she went to Rutgers University in New Jersey, USA. And also she has got respective scholarships before we just like having a consecutive organizations experiences. She's also awardee from the Australian Development Scholarship and also the Fulbright Presidential Doctorate Program. And some of the respective journals that she has experiences with, such as the Analysis of Gender, Language of Sustainability of the Community in Lower Lindu, kerjasama dengan Frankfurt University in Germany in 2005 and 2006. And she is also a rating about pekerja unggul kompetensi dan peningkatan kinerja SDM di Universitas Tadulako. Dan untuk yang terakhir adalah transformasi SDM integrasi orientasi pemasaran internal dalam program pelatihan dan pengembangan. Oke, baik. For the time and place, I will try to place for our respective speaker, Miss Harnida. The time and place is yours.
all right. Thank you very much, Rizky. May I call you Rizky?
Oh, sure thing, ma'am.
All right.
Go ahead. Yeah.
And you can call me Harnida as well.
Oh, sure thing.
All right.
Thank you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And good morning, everyone.
Good morning, ma'am.
I hope, yes, I hope we are all in good condition, healthy, and happy. And most importantly is that we have the willingness to share and learn together. And because I believe that knowledge and experiences we can learn from anyone in any time. So first of all, I would like to thank Magister Program of UNESA to invite me for what is it, like to trust me to share with you all, and then to see like so many audiences, so many participants just make me gerendal-gerendel gitu. Nervous alias rada-rada gitu gimana ya. Tapi anyway, I believe that I am in the nice house. I am with very nice people, kind people. So I should be good. I should be fine, inshallah. So ladies and gentlemen, Bapak dan Ibu, let me share material that I have resumed from some literature, of course, and make it one material as our meeting can have in this morning until I think is how long should I deliver this talk, Rizky? Because I have like 300 slides. How long? How many minutes do I have? Like until what time? Sorry, you still mute.
For me, and the presentation should be take about like 1 hour and 30 minutes, Miss Harnida. So yeah,
Sorry,
we've
1
got
hour, 1 hour.
30 minutes.
Oh,
30
okay.
minutes. Yep.
All right then. Thank you.
Until 11 o'clock.
Until 11 o'clock. Just let me know. Just give me a sign or anything, or you can just interrupt if I'm still talking when the time is up. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, respected participants in this guest lecture, I am so excited to share with you, and I hope that we have discussions about how how do we execute agile leadership in the digital era, and how do we develop some characteristics and some mindset opening in order to deal with the digital era. As the Dean said earlier, that this issue is quite new, emerged in the middle of leadership discussions. But maybe in my point of view, this kind of leadership, agile characteristics, agile performance, I think it's already there. Situation and the recent updates of our environments just need to be emphasized on some characteristics that lies on this agile characteristic. So the agility is one of the issues that we have to bear in mind in order to cope with the recent environmental dynamics. I believe so. So yeah, Rizky already mentions some of the things from my CV. And as people say, nggak terlalu kenal, maybe perlu waktu untuk semakin sayang. Tapi rasa sayang harus sudah kita pupuk sejak awal, so that our niat kita itu sudah insya Allah diluruskan lah. So Bapak Ibu, I'm Harnida from Tadulako University, and I am now is the coordinator of bachelor program, Bachelor Management Study Program. And I'm also the member of APSMBI under the coordinator, our beloved Ketua, Mr. Ulil Hartono, who trusts me in this session. So I got my bachelor from Tadulako University in 1999, and I continue to get my MA, Master of Arts in Flinders at Flinders University, Adelaide, Australia. I got a scholarship from the government of Australia, and then continue in 2008-2014 at Rutgers University, New Jersey, United States, with a Fulbright Presidential Doctoral Program. And as a student at Rutgers at that time, I couldn't have my scholarship to cover 6 years of my study. So I have to work. One way to keep me moving in my study is that my department awarded me a scholarship to teach. So I got a teaching assistant, and I got also as an assistant professor, where I can interact with students and to deliver some issues that are relevant to the community in New Jersey at that time. So anyway, about this morning, the lecture and discussion, of course, will be evolved around organization and changing environment. And then I'm going to talk about a little bit of concept of leadership in conventional or traditional perspective and in recent or modern organizational dynamic. And also we'll talk about what are the profiles in agility, agile profiles, what consists of agility, what are the characteristics that we have to embed in order to act agile. And then we also will talk about some mistakes and, of course, some best practices of agile leadership in the digital era. All right. Of course, if we talk about management, we talk about leadership, we will always base our discussion on organization. And if we talk about organization, I think we all agree that organization state should be dynamic. It should be static. Why? Because we want our organization to be developed, to be advanced, to be enlarged, and to be international, so we have to deal with organizational change. We should change. That's the first perspective that we have to bear in mind if we want to create a better, developed community or even a country. The mindset should be main, like the main tool to have developed. So what is organizational change? It's actually that the transformation of organization from one state to another. Of course, this implies a better condition. Of course, we don't want to change, but we ended up in a negative situation, or we don't want to end up in a worse one. Of course, all we initiate in changing a situation is that we want to get better. For example, why Bapak dan Ibu dosen are all here today? At least to practice your listening skills, at least to practice your speaking skills, at least to reconfirm your knowledge, to reconfirm your experiences to each other. And the most least is that at least, we can know each other more. For students, for example, why you have to continue your study to a magister program? It's because you want to have a change. You want to change from somebody who holds a bachelor degree to the one who get the magister degree. But the thing is that getting study, pursuing study is not only to get a degree. Okay, but the thing is to be more mature in education, in life experiences, is the process that we have to have in order to achieve a better situation. So yeah, whether in the organizational level or in personal level, I think change is a must. And of course, we have to pursue to change it to a better situation. Okay, that's one thing. So in terms of organizational change, this organization already changed. It has to be collaborated. It has to be reshaping. Because why organizational change includes a change in, it could be in structure, strategy, policies, procedure, including culture. Culture is something that is so embedded both in community and also in organization. Well, the discussion about whether we talk about community, culture in community as a community, or culture in our organization, and also culture in our way to get our work done. So there are many, scopes of culture, but the thing is, the change that we all wanted, right? Because we want to thrive, we want to adjust with the environment. Why this required commitment? Because it's not easy. We may change, but the changes that we initiate may be not getting us to a better position. So the type of organizational change can also radical, like very quick, and involves a very, very fast reaction, but it also can be done in an incremental and slow motion, but we all going to one direction. However, whatever the type, regardless the type, whether it's radical or incremental, change involves the willingness to letting go of the old ways of thinking or work and adjusting to new ways of thinking or work, right? So the process actually requires effective management. These are six types of organizational change. Can be a strategic change, includes changes to the business policy, structure, or process. Well, if we bring the discussion into our institution, for example, a higher institution, we all want to be changed. And I would like to congratulate the study program, I think it's bachelor program, of UNESA, to get the, Unggul accreditation. And is it already international accredited or on the way there?
Some of our study programs have international accreditations, and some of it will be on the way.
Oh, all right.
Yes.
Okay. So that's strategic change. It needed business, if it's in business or if it's in government institutions, it's all adjust. So let me develop a little bit about the strategic change. It's about goals. So talking about organization, we talk about achieving common goals, achieving organizational goals, how to boost a competitive advantage, how to respond to emerging opportunities, and how to anticipate the challenges or threats. We have to deal with our strength, and identify our weaknesses, but also we have to anticipate the threats that come up in any time, in any types. So strategic change is needed. For example, what are the strategic change? To redefine our vision and mission that reflects our strategic change. So updating our vision, organizational vision, as we grow, as we adapt to new regulations. You know, if we talk about curriculum, ideally, the need to change the curriculum is within 4 years period, right? But the thing is, because we are in the time where changes are always coming along, and new regulations or new, laws just coming in the middle of, time where we prepare the new things. So we have to change many times. For example, in my study program, the curriculum since 2019, right now, we already changed like 2, and now we're getting the 3rd improvement. So that's tiring. But then we have to get back to the initial mission that we have to deal with that. So why the strategic change needed? Because we want to deal with innovation, and we would like to restructure. And then the second one is people-centric change. Yeah, that's what I have talked. The ministry is changed. The new opinions is occurred. New people is coming into leadership positions. They all have different perspective to get the situation better. So we have to deal with all this. Structural change is also includes shift in management hierarchy, teams responsibility, different apart chain of command and job structure. We get from tall, and hierarchical bureaucracy to a flat and less bureaucracy. We coming from a very strict structure communication into a more informal and collaborative and coordination relationship. That's in the structural change. We came from like, we have to, in order to get one, for example, we would like to continue our study overseas. But then we cannot go, even though we already have scholarship, we cannot go just leave our job without getting a letter of permission from our leader. And that took us, like, we have to see so many people. We have to wait very long time to get our paper signed. That's the thing that I think in recent times, we all working together to get the flattened, more, humanist, structural relationship. And we come to the 4th type of change in organization is about technology. It's we are in industrial revolution. Is it still 4.0 or we are facing the 5.0? I think this depends on people's advancement in technology. Some area, maybe in Surabaya, it's already entering the 5.0, but in Palu, in Central Sulawesi, maybe we are in the middle of the 3rd and the 4th. So it's just like the liberation of technological change is not the same by demographic, I believe. Yeah, even though like we're all really keen to have advancement in technology, but what can we say if, for example, the electricity still have to be off like regularly? Yeah, for example, in Palu, within this month, 2 months maybe, there is a ongoing, electricity problem that we cannot do much about it. So that's about how do we being forced to implement technological advancement when we have that kind of infrastructure problem. But in big cities, maybe that problem is more or less. So Yeah, but the thing is, technological change is intended to improve the process of whether it's business or education or any other issues. And this is the certain thing. So we all believe that we all living in uncertain condition. But one thing is certain, is the uncertainty itself. One thing is certain, is the uncertain. So sometimes we already anticipate and we have a great plan to anticipate the situation of and then we make a long-term planning. But then it's just happened something that, for example, in Palu 2018, where in the sudden all the livelihood in Central Sulawesi just get off because of the natural disaster. So that's a kind of unplanned, unexpected reality that we have to deal with. And from now on, people, whether in domestic spheres, in group spheres, and in institution and organization, now still struggling to find a new way of living because of the distractions. But yeah, as we follow, I think we did good, pretty good. So unplanned change, just like, of course, it creates some disorganizations, but on the other hand, I think some unplanned changes also prepare us to be a better survivor. I think that's the thing about the change in organization. So what do we know? What do we need? How do we dealing with the situation? So because we cannot hold the situation to be like in permanence, we cannot resist anytime. Of course, maybe we are in the category, or maybe we find some people who are resistant to change, but I believe that slowly but sure, their resistance will go along with the changing itself, because whether they realize or not, they're living in the changing environment. So whether the perspective isn't open, totally to receive that change, but they live with it. So yeah, it's about time and about how do we anticipate, how do we cooperate, and the most important thing is innovate, thinking and doing new things, new mechanism, and creating new products or providing new services. We need to think in the end of the time in dealing with changing environment. We have to think of the uniqueness of our organization. Why our organization is different from others? What are some characteristics that we can develop in order to build a unique transformational dynamic in our organization? So, I mean, and in every day, my routine is dealing with students with their so many problems. I have to face so many, all of us, Bapak dan Ibu dosen. I think every day we have kepala nyut-nyut because we have to face so many problems that our students have, especially if, for example, ma'am, I'm sorry, but I haven't submit my KRS, for example. While the time has been ended like 3 weeks ago. I said, it's ended 3 weeks ago. It's closed. The system isn't received anymore. But can you help me? Is there any policy that you can give me so I can? So no anticipation at all. but in the same time, like, we have to deal with that. We have to cooperate. I think this is not totally right, or maybe this is wrong, but the thing is that's a part of our challenge in the institutional, higher institutional education, like to have our workmate, our co-workers, let's say, the members of organization, to have these main behaviors so that we can gain, competitive advantage, or at least to maintain our position and develop. So what is the Agile profile? 3 behaviors that a leader can apply to be performant in a turbulent environment. The thing is, in any situations, in any organization, there has to be somebody or some people to be in leadership roles, to be leader, to lead the transformation, to be more engaged than others, that needs, as Pak Dekan says, is sedekah waktu, sedekah pikiran. Bahkan tidak jarang we need to voluntarily to donate the materials, money, to anticipate the things that's gonna happen, to anticipate the consequences, right? Because we want to get a better situation. Cooperate, coordinate, go to win-win solutions. Try to give satisfaction to all parties, which is not always easy to do, or not always allow us to do. So I guess get back to the student's problem, for example, when she or he just let me know that she needs to submit her, study plans. But in the first thing I said, no, you cannot do that anymore. But then I have a different opinion, like, this student needs to give lesson learned. All right, but you have to know that this is the consequences, and you need to know that by doing this, like disobey the rules, disobey the deadline, means you break people's activities, because our operators, our staff needs to go back to do his stuff and then leave some of the works that advanced already. So the thing is, we have to innovate the way educate our students, innovate our way of thinking, our perspective to make difference. And next is anticipation. We need to have, to be a better, to have a better anticipation, to plan, to draw scenarios and anticipate the consequence. We have to have this situational intelligence and proaction. Situational intelligence is our ability, our skills, our, energy, strength to adapt to unexpected events. Believe it or not, all of us have this. Whether it's already implemented or still laying in our brain somewhere in ourselves internally, but we all have this capability to be aware, to listen, understand, and can deliver useful verbal and non-verbal elements in a given situation. So this is actually one of the tools that as human we already have, that we have this intelligence. But how well it is, how developed it is, it depends on ourselves. It depends on a personal states. You want to develop that, or you choose not to, or you want to just show it half, and anything. Proaction, structure, anticipation, having capacity to conceive of and implement action plans. So planning as the first management function that we all have learned is making plans. Why we need to make plans? Just to give us framework of actions, right? Planning has no meaning if it doesn't followed by actions. Now, actions need or require structure anticipation. What if unanticipated events happen? You know, unplanned situation occurs. So we have to these attitudes. And then cooperation. In order to have a good cooperation ability, we have to develop systemic empathy and synchronization. What is systemic empathy? We go for human approach. We have to show that we care. We have to make sure that people around us know that we care, right? We are not just dealing with people in the organizations, but we also need to try to have more and a better established collaborative with external stakeholders. So systemic empathy is one of the mean to have the cooperation. Synchronization, what is it? To coordinate as opposed to the tasks themselves. Ability to spontaneously and reciprocally share the required information and thus the shared responsibility for the collective outcome. Negotiate openly and manage the expected deadline with the context of what needs to be delivered to ensure the ongoing success of a given activity. Synchronization, synergizing, you know, have a win-win satisfaction, win-win self-determination, that we cannot just develop self-pride, but we have to involve people to make sure that they feeling respected, they feel honored, they feel useful, so that people will go off and develop themselves more. I think I need to get faster. It's we still have like 20 slides. But this thing is innovation. We have to have constructive rebellion and managerial pedagogy. Constructive rebellion, rebel biasanya connotated with like unruly gitu, nggak mau diatur, rebel, suka menentang. Tapi in this case, what we need is constructive rebellion. We even need constructive critiques. Why constructive? Because the rebellion, the critiques is needed to bring open or to open new ideas. We have to have the ability to step out of the usual frame of reference, right? That's a part of innovation. I keep saying this to students, whether it's a bachelor, magister, or doctoral level. you have to try to open your mind. Do not stuck to one idea. And that's okay. Like I understand that our students mostly will go to the library or online to open source of research in our campus, and they will look at these several researchers, and they describe that there is a fixed template of how research should be conducted, including in framing the title of the research. I said, no, you don't need to be that obedient to the existing research templates. You have to have the motivation to have something else, and that's totally fine. So I always motivate them to be rebellion in terms of developing their ideas gitu. Jadi jangan terpaku pada model dan template yang sudah ada sejak dahulu kala. And it's okay to be different. It's okay to introduce new things, new way of researching, new ways of innovate. That's okay. Because why? It gets to the second point about sharing knowledge to support the evolution. If all of us just stick to the same thing over and over again, then we cannot develop. We cannot share knowledge to each other. We cannot create something new. We cannot even share values and vision. So to align the vision of the organization with the personal, will bring people to get closer. So yeah, that's, I can say that's kind of introduction. Maybe it's quite long, quite long introduction. But anyway, we come up to this question: how do you behave to meet the evolving demand of your environment? I was planned that I will need to have like 1 or 2 audience to respond to this question. If that's okay, to give me, some seconds time to get drink. So anyone, please, how do you behave to meet the evolving demand of your environment? How do you, do the adapting to the new demand of our institution? If for Bapak dan Ibu, maybe in terms of our university, but our students, maybe some of our students are also working in some companies. We would like to hear your insight about this. Have you ever in a situation of shifting, how do you react to that? How did you anticipate the situation? What kind of reactions that you show and reactions that you received in terms of changing environment? 1 or 2 people, maybe, please feel free. Ayo. Okay, maybe in the end of the session ya. So boleh catat-catat some important points. And ingat Bapak Ibu, ini boleh jadi sebuah media untuk practice listening, speaking, and also reading our TOEFL skills. Boleh nih. So yeah, a dynamic leader is required in a fast, organizational, changing environment. Being leader, being dynamic leader, that's 2 things that has to go together. But not all of us can be a dynamic leader. But as I said earlier, we all have the capacity, right? whether the capacity allow us to shine because of our responsibilities or no, but we all have this capacity. So yeah, leadership is action, not position. Ada leader is boss. There are leaders who engage, gitu. Because a leader is made, not born. What does it mean? None of us born with leadership capacities. We all growing. From our childhood, we engage with our family, and then we at 3 years old, 5 years old, we went to playgroup, TK, and then elementary school, secondary school, high schools, and university. So being leader is transformational, engagement, personal, and collaborate with our environment. So this is frequently happen in class. If I teach leadership, if I teach, human resource, I keep asking students from the material you have read, what do you think the best leadership practice? They all will say one thing. Democratic leaders, democratic style leaders. Are you sure? Because in my point of view, that is not the only one that we should define as ideal. Because why? Leadership is ongoing. Leadership is exhibit a variety of traits, and we can utilize different styles to inspire and guide the teams to achieve success. Good or bad leaders depends on various things, not only to the person, because it's also depend on the people we lead, the member of organization, and the situation we face. I have a very clear vision as leader. I have a better education than the rest of my member of organization, right? I'm very good. I'm very capable. I'm high qualified leaders. But the other part of the leadership is that do people that I interact with also have the willingness to go advance with me? That's the questions. If we only good as a single player, it's not enough. It depends on people, the rest of the member of the family. So that's one of the challenge. How do we get people along? How do we motivate people to get along? How do we encourage people to leave their comfort zone and to conduct some changes? That's the thing. So leadership has been the focus of research in the social sciences since the early 30s. However, as we all know, there are no theories that can be taken as one theory that applicable in every country, in every situation. Because of this, to be an effective leader, we have to exhibit a variety of traits and utilize different styles. Depends on the situation and depends on people that we are facing. So in the past, leadership was about giving orders and making decisions only. However, in recent years, theories relating to agile leadership has increasingly emerged, in the digital age, especially, leaders need to be more collaborative and inclusive. They need to create a culture of innovation and encourage their teams to experiment and take risk. Risk-taking is one of the skills that we also need to promote. So in general, what is definition of leadership? You know, these are some, review of literatures. So this is actually a part of, let's say, thesis or dissertation, that the part of what is it called, literature review, I find is the hardest part to communicate with students, because they, not all of them understand what they should write, how should they exhibit in literature review sections. So I'm just want to say that this is how we expected to kind of stimulating and acknowledge some early research, early studies in our thesis or dissertation. In 1950, this is quite an old theory of leadership. He says that the purpose of leadership is in just achieving common goals. That's very basic. But in 1988, Carter already mentioned that leadership is a process of moving people in one group to a certain direction that we all agreed. So that's why we said, when we are involved in one organization, and then we have to be willing to let go our personal interest or our personal intention, and that has to be taken into group direction. So in that point, a leader also required to design and share a vision. And also in the recent study, Robbins and Judge 2010, a set of characteristics, process or specific. So it tends to like taking or resumed the earlier theories in leadership, and then match with the recent situations. So if we can see here, in the beginning, the leadership just about achieving goals. That's it. Not even think about what are the characteristics that people need to have in order to get that goals. Right? But in recent years, we have contingency theory and personal characters, innate personality that also needed. So leadership refers to all aspects: goal, role, position, process of influencing a group of people in a particular context to achieve a vision or set goals. So what are the traits of effective leaders? We all can lead. We see people, leading. But maybe we can say not all of them are effective as leaders. So what do we need? What do people need in order to get or to be effective? We have to vision. What do we... Our ability to forecast, to predict the future, right? Even though we are also blocked by some uncertainty. We have to be aware of uncertainty. So that's why we have vision, but we have to realistic, that do not set the vision very long, not need to involve a very, long period of time. It has to be set like, 5, 6, maybe, yeah, in order to anticipate the unexpected. Empathetic, showing our care, showing that we can be a good listener, showing that we won't be harsh leader to people, yeah, something like that. In employee shoes, knowing that understanding their needs will lead to better communication, collaborative environment. Decisive, while collaboration is important, leaders must be able to make tough decisions and act on them in a timely manner. So this is what I said. When students say that democratic style is the best of the best, gitu ya, I always say that don't get it wrong, because sometimes being authoritarian, being a harsh leader is needed at sometimes, gitu ya. So it's not always that soft, and then timely leaders wait for opinions from others. Sometimes that is not just ideal. So the next is patient. We have to be patient. Inspire others to share enthusiasm and commitment to achieve organizational goals. And Bapak dan Ibu, as I talk, it is, feel free if you would like to share some perspective, if you would like to comment, if you would like to elaborate more ideas, feel free, yeah. I'm just sharing some of the materials out there. So what is the importance of leadership in organization? To have effective decision making, to impose better communication, and also to increase employee engagement. This is more important. Like we have people to engage, right? We are not single player to get a success, but we have to engage all people. So what is Agile leadership? I learned that some pronounce this Agile, some also pronounce Agile. So I think both Agile and Agile has the same, meaning. Whatever we want to say, that's not really important. Agile and Agile. But the most important thing is that we have to have the mindset, the style, and practices which are designed to support rapid response of organizations to change conditions based on environmental change, and suitable for leaders with flat hierarchies. Agile connects with flat hierarchies. Bureaucracy that is more flat. What is it? More to partnership, more to fast communication. Flat organization. We come from the tall to the flat. Agile leadership characterized by the ability to be calm in the face of pressure, reacting to unique circumstances effectively, open to innovation, finding ways to inspire, involving employees, keeping teams on the ground and the right path, prioritizing people over processes, focusing on customer needs, for example, get the leader thrives in the times of crisis and change. What is most needed is calm, being calm. Because if we grasa grusu, and then the rest of the members of our organization will lose guidance. They don't have somebody to look on, to follow, The thing is about being leader is to be suri tauladan, to be person who is, guiding people. That's the thing. So agile leaders more human, democratic, inclusive. They give their teams the why and trust them to discover the deliver how. So we don't need to be so instructional leaders. Even some people also need detailed instructions in doing their task. But in general, we have to give other people space to develop themselves. We just give them the reason why we have to do this, what are the things that we want to achieve, and the how is up to you, gitu. I don't want to know. I don't really want to give you a specific instructions, because that means that it's me working, it's not you. So if, for example, if you have better ways of delivering things, of executing some actions, maybe you can get it better and faster than me. So give the autonomy to self-organize, create, and do the work. Give the trust to other people to do or to execute works based on their ways. But of course, there is also a weakness of doing this, of course. Maybe we can discuss it later. So here is the table of comparison between leadership in hierarchical organization and in agile organizations. The level, the characteristic is mindset, the role, organization, and practice, management practice. As we can see here, leadership in hierarchical organization is aimed to increase efficiency and clear division of tasks for maximum output. Jadi ada objective oriented. If we can say profit oriented. However, in agile organization, the mindset of or attitude of the people to set in a way to understand the environmental change as a permanent state. It has to do with the uncertainty tadi, gitu. We are in agile situations. We cannot just push people to work, or we cannot just divide people in strict groups, but instead we have to provide them with larger space to be developed. And the leadership role in let's say conventional or traditional organization, which is very hierarchical, that leadership role is decision maker, sole responsibility. But in agile, it's on the team initiative, shared responsibility. Well, actually, I can say that in nowadays, leaders' roles is less heavy than the first one, If the previous perspective, like all the responsibility only on one person, whatever he say, whatever she say, that's the truth. But in nowadays, people just more open, like giving chance to other people, empower the team instead of pushing power on people. So that's influenced the organization of the team. In the traditional or conventional, organization, hierarchical positions, you cannot go to this person before you meet this person. You cannot get your letter signed before this Bapa or this Ibu put their small notes on your name. You cannot do that. But now, self-organized, flat hierarchies, independent, we can just say, oh, because of the Bapa or the Ibu is absent, well, this letter just can go to this person instead. Because why? We caring of people. We put attention on people, because they also have their own stuff to do. Instead of just waiting, sitting for a long time, waiting for one person to only need to put these small notes on the paper. And management practice process few sequence of different activities. We're just gonna do this. We're just gonna do B when we done A. You cannot go to this person before this. But now in Agile organization, the intention is how to get work done in a strategic ways. Simple rules, open flow of information, and collaboration. I think from this table, we can see the significant shifting, the significant shifting of how we manage the organization. Just gonna move to the next one. Agility principle, we have to start from the sense of purpose, the I-nya ketinggalan. The sense of purpose, and then anticipation and fluidity. Agility is the dynamic capability to sense, anticipate, respond intelligently, and act quickly and smoothly in a coordinated way to change the environment. Yang the Dean said, not only sat, but only chas, that kind of thing that we needed in this current situation. So agility, Trinity, it's divided into three processes. Leadership agility, which include behavior, operational agility, which is the executions, and direction, which involves strategic agility. How do we make it happen? What are strategies that we need to execute? How do we manage this? After we do that, do we deliver value? Do we have improvement? Are we able to present or provide value added to the products or services that we provide? And after that, where do we go? What do we need to achieve in the future? So it's like the strategic planning, Yeah, this agility trinity. And I think this three is not separate, but it can be iterative, like it can go over and over again. It can be rethought. So Agile leadership principle. What are the principles that we need to bear in mind? Excellent praise from Mahatma Gandhi. Be the change you want to see. Means, what does it mean? Be the change that you want to see. If you visioning a better situation, that it has to be started from yourself. You have to show example. Make yourself role figure, But I find this not really easy to do. Not easy to do. However, it just gets us a better person if we commit to do that. So even though we say good things, but we don't show attitudes toward the things that we have said, so it's just useless. People say omdo or NATO, no action, talks only. We have to try to, to improve, to advance ourselves. We have to engage people and their interactions. And the second and the fourth, I think, is quite linear, that improve the system and manage the system, not the people. The people will follow. I don't know, maybe one of you can explain this better. But like when we already design a good mechanism, working mechanism, then people will follow, even though it's not permanent. We always need to spare some opportunities to be changed, to it's flexible. The system has to be managed flexibly to enable people to act more. And more importantly is to co-create work. Another mean as a collaboration, right? Roles align, collaboration enables or offers diverse insights, because as I said earlier, that we can learn from anyone in any time. So we don't need to, like block the opportunities for us to learn from anyone. So what is about agile leadership and digitalization? Agile leadership is a leadership style that is particularly relevant in the age of digital disruption. Why? Because being agile means we have the adaptability, vision, and also engagement. They are adept at dealing with complexity and less reluctant to change minds in the face of new information and also technology. Agile leaders are hyper-aware and focused on spotting emerging digital opportunities or competitive threats. So maybe, like especially the pandemic. Pandemic is very, very, very strong, means to force people to utilize technology, because at that time we have no choice at all. However, every one of us are forced to learn new stuff that we haven't think about earlier. But the situation just, transform us to be people who familiar with Zoom, familiar with Google Meet, familiar with any other devices, any other applications in order to get the work done. So yeah, it's called digital age leadership. What is it? It refers to leadership styles and approach that are based on a deep understanding of technology and ability to use digital tools to achieve organizational goals and willingness to stay abreast of technology trends. Leaders in the digital age prioritize agility, efficiency, innovation, and creativity among their members. Leaders will use a wide range of communication channels, mobile applications, video conferencing, in order to stay connected with the teams, even though we live in separate location, even though, for example, we may not in a good health to go out and then meet people, but using technology can also drive us to make a better decision, eliminating redundancies and driving real business value. Ultimately, elective digital age leadership is the key to unlock the potential of modern business in the tech-driven era. This is the ideal situation. But as I said, some people in some area will not have the same opportunity to utilize the technology in the same degree, right? So that we cannot expect the same result for everyone who live in different areas. But anyway, we have to be aware of the need of this, the urgency of doing this. So what are the difference between digital and non-digital leadership styles? Of course, from the term, we can say Well, if it is digital leadership, means it highly depends on technology and the utilization of digital platforms, online meeting or chat rooms, while non-digital, of course, still having this conventional interaction, face-to-face meeting. But yeah, it depends on the emergency of the situation. Yeah, for example, this kind of learning, this kind of academic interaction, and some students will have their opinions like, I'm bored with online lecture. Some docent also say that. Some lecturers will also say that. They said that online lectures are not effective, are not enable them to achieve the learning goals. For example, that students just have a little attention. Some students may not just showing up, but in the end, they're asking for grades, something like that. However, in a situation like pandemic, what can we do? Yeah. Some of us just like in a sudden being elementary school teachers for our child, right? Our children, we have to replace the role of teachers. Our kids have this homework, math. Mama, you have to help me with this. I cannot see my teacher and doing this. Oh, okay. That's going to be a very hard assignment for the parents, right? That maybe before that, we always like, anyway, I'm going to work, and then I already register my kids in a very, in the best school in town. So should be good. It should be good. But that's then something happens. We have to engage in the learning, teaching, learning process in school. So yeah, Agile leadership helps organizations adapt to digital transformation. This is unbearable. This is unavoidable. We have to change. We have to face this. We have to deal with cultural change, empowering individuals and team. We have to have a stronger communication, commitment, and engage in collaboration. Why Agile leadership transformation? Because it can lead a fundamental change in culture and leadership style. It based on the premise that company leaders are meant to serve their employees. This is interesting for me. From the leader as bosses to leaders as servants. Maybe some of you have heard servant leadership. That sometimes our mindset, has to be upside down. Like we thought that, kalau leader kan berarti boss. His position, her position is on the highest level of organization. But that is not totally true in recent years. So the culture should change. Instead, the leaders has to empower individuals, act upon things themselves within their own boundaries. Agile leaders need to trust their teams and dare to let go of power and control. The teams are not there to serve the leader, but it is the leader to remove obstacles that prevent the team from performing at its best. So it's kind of like facilitating the team in order for them to work better. How do we do that? Well, by fostering a good communication, to listen to others, to give them space to voice their opinions, their knowledge, their experiences. So by doing that, we would have a good flow of ideas and actions to be taken to execute those ideas. So yeah, it's about changing in demographic of mindset in leading. However, there is also the challenges of leading in a digital era. What are the challenges? The challenges is that the first one is about self-awareness. There is a need for leaders or people in power to advance their
laptop kayak apa? Kontrol scan juga pernah kena ya?
Yeah.
Nah, ya apa maksudnya kontrol print scan ya? Ya. Wah,
Maaf ibu dosennya ini ke mute.
Boleh di-unmute? I'm sorry.
ya kontrol
Is it good? Okay. Is it good? Okay. Is it now okay? Oh, all right. I think we good. That we good to go, Rizky? Okay. We have to have this self-awareness. We have technical, managerial, and ethical competencies. These three. We have to have this knowledge on technical. How do we able to share screen on Zoom? How do we able to make sure that our voice isn't heard by anyone? How do we able to not interrupting the meetings, for example? Some, but for me, myself, sometimes I just don't let myself to know everything because I would like to have people to help me. I'm just thinking like, if I know everything, then I won't need anyone around me. I will not give people chances to work with me. That's the downside of getting everything by yourself. But then we have to have this also mindfulness. Yeah, as I said, I don't want to know everything. I will leave some space for others to develop. I have to facilitate so that my co-workers also can have example categorized as not really senior but not junior, so in the middle age lah. So I have some juniors. I would like them to be involved more, so I will assign them some task that if I learn I could do that, but I just don't want to. That's weird maybe, but maybe some of us also experience that kind of thing. In order for me to have this positive relationship, I just want people to have this feeling that they are needed, gitu, that their skills are needed. Like even though in terms of age, in terms of experiences, maybe they are younger and less experienced than me, for example, but I still need them to do some task. I still want them to be around. I want them to be active. I don't want them just to be like, oh, okay, they just show up in campus when they have classes. After that, they just go home, like what we did before. So to lead effectively in the digital age, we have to have this purpose to balance the need to be achieved between technological advances and ethical responsibilities. I would like to have people to have shared responsibilities, that this task, this assignment could not be execute it well if they just being silent, gitu. However, even though the balance is not something that we can, we can always gain, it will be difficult to have this balance. There will be like some staff that give more proportions than others. But this is about priority, prioritizing, set priority. What things that we need to do on the top, on the first thing, and then what are the things that can follow. It based on the purpose. So then how do we do this? What do we need to have? What skills are required to lead in a digital age? The ability to lead effectively requires strong organizational, interpersonal, and also technology. Gitu. Jadi bertambah gitu. We need to add some more advancement in us. Organizational. Okay. Organizational capability will guide the team integrating in some changes that come with technological advancement. Interpersonal skills, we really need this. We cannot get people to work with us without having this at best. We just get like, ayo kerja, let's do this. We have these projects. You have to come tomorrow at 10. But then we forget to say hi to them. We forget to ask, how are you? We forget to ask, why are you late? We forget to ask, we forget to know like when their birthday, how is their parents doing, something like that. Interpersonal skills. The things that may not relate directly with the task, with the job, with the assignments, but will bring people to work more, to bind, more, to have these less boundaries, but binding more, no separation, senior, junior, dosen lama, dosen baru gitu, or this is a magister, they are doctorates. No, we have to treat people at the same, but well, we can have different level of interactions. That should be fine, gitu ya. This is, I don't know. I should have this just to let them know that I'm doing something. Yeah, that's an example that things going on, some on schedule, some the schedule just going the same time. Technology skill, leaders must be knowledgeable in utilizing, as understanding how to use a strategy, new process, technology into their visions. Technology skill is one of the issues that students who involved in MBKM program, they involved in Kampus Mengajar in some elementary schools in suburbs, the rural areas gitu ya. When they come back, they will say that one of the main issues they found in schools is about technology, the lower or the low technology skills possessed by teachers. What does that mean? They don't really feel the urgency to know the technology or to adopt technology. So they don't deliver the skills to the students. that kind of challenging. So what do you do in terms of that situation? So they will say that, yes, so we give some additional hours for teachers to get them familiar with gadgets. But the thing is, they don't have a sufficient gadget to have this technology. Their phone is not smart enough to get Zoom or to get Google Meet. Their phone is not smart enough. In other way, they don't have smartphone. They don't have these facilities to support the usage of for them to do the technology. That's one of the thing that is, I think, it's like the challenge we can say, but we can also say that as interesting phenomenon in our community. And also I would like to share, for example, my recent research on women's entrepreneurs in rural areas about the usage of artificial intelligence. So after I read so many references and how ideal and how optimistic the artificial intelligence will increase the productivity, will open up more networks, opportunities, will make it easy for them to reach wider targets, and etc., etc. But in fact, the women that I studied they have different opinions on the utilization of technology in developing their business. They prefer the conventional way of running their businesses. They don't see technology is the one that they need in recent time. Maybe in the future, they said, but in this time, they don't need the artificial intelligence or whatsoever related to technology. They are already happy if they have their business taken in their houses. They go into the markets every Saturday, for example, and they have their neighbors to come to their houses or meet more people in the market every week. They have fulfilled their business enthusiasm. So that's why that's interesting in my personal opinion, because the implementation of technology is not always positive. We have to face this, that agile transformation is not getting a good result if it's only executed on a team level. But we have to try to get everyone involved, which needs more time and energy. And lack of leadership support, when the leaders is still conventional, when the new ideas proposed, and the people should get 4 no's before 1 maybe. That's the thing. I have this new idea. How if we do this and then we can get this? I don't think so. No, we cannot do that. And how about this? Oh no, we cannot do that also. How about this? Okay, maybe, but not in this time. We have to give ourselves more time to learn and then to. So that needs more time, and it's a sign of lack of support. Lack of communication is another thing. If we don't have good communication, then the implementation of agile leadership in digital transformation, it won't work, won't have the result that we all imagine. And if it is only the agile transformation as a top-down initiative, so it's only from up to the bottom. But what we need is to try to get the people who are more involved directly, for example, with customer, to have these opinions to be heard by the top managerial people. So it's not it's not top-down, but it has to be bottom up. There is no separation between these two, because otherwise both are work, can the ideas can go, can come from the top, and also they will meet in the middle anyway. They will meet in the middle. So yeah, we have to stop the separation of who is supposed to have this idea and who is not, who have this authority, who is not. We have to open all the channels to people to get the. However, apart from the challenges or mistakes, we also have some best practices, implementing agile leadership in digital transformation. We can have superpower team, whether in my experience, it is not working all the time. Like we have this super team, the team that we will ask to do one job, two job, the second and third job. But then at the end of the day, this super team will tired. They have so much assignments on them. So the super team is not the superpower team anymore. They lost some of their powers anymore. So I think in this situation, we have to have more than one super teams, or teams built or teams form after the others, but it depends of our human resources. I think this we have many people, quantitatively, we have so many people, but when we are in situation of, okay, we have this task, who will be in the team? We will think really, really hard. We have to pick people from this to this, maybe not this, or okay, but yeah. So that's the thing. However, if we have agile leadership, agile practices, we're gonna have strong leadership. We understand more people. We hopefully we understand the philosophy of leading and the creation of new culture, and we can enlarge, we can work with people not only from our internal environment but also outside. For example, this time, alhamdulillah, we can have this opportunity, we can share, and maybe not only in terms of different provinces or islands, but also we can go international. So yeah, cross department, cross cultural collaboration is can be considered as best practices for implementing agile leadership in digital transformation. In conclusion, digital age is something that we must all familiarize ourselves. We want to stay ahead. Requires different skill set than traditional leadership, and emphasis on adaptation to change. While using the internet is evolved at a rapid pace, important than ever for leaders to able to communicate effectively online. Those who are unable to do so will find themselves at a disadvantage and further will impede the advancement. Right? So that's all I think that I can deliver this time. Thank you so much for the attention and some questions and especially comments. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Harnida, for your delightful presentation and materials. I would like to summarize about the things that you have told us in regards to the agile leadership in digital era. That actually the agile itself can be divided as a movement on organizational from the one state to another, and there are like the external environments and also external factors which actually heavily emphasizes about this kind of leadership, mostly about the technological environment, political, social, cultural, and also like how this strategic in terms of the refining our the vision and mission is mostly about the strategic, people centric, structural, technological, and how the industry revolution 4.0 and how the society 5.0 truly reshapes the Agile leadership itself. And not gonna forget the digitalization and digital disruption is actually heavily impacts in terms of the managerial life, and also like how the further digital adoptions could reshape the focus in terms of the social media, digital platform, and the technology, and in terms of the managerial aspect as well. And not also adding some to the shortcomings and the challenges in terms of the cultural change, which mostly highlighting empowering individuals and team, and how we just like gather the communities, individuals, different perspective, different way of thinking, and how we gonna build our the mindfulness and create a positive relationship. And also the process itself is like having the significant power, which is I gonna highlight that the organizational capability could create interpersonal skills, and also like how it keeps forward the technology skills as well, and just try to adapt and overcome in our society 5.0, and like how we highlight in terms of the development itself. Thank you so much for the highlight, Ms. Harnida. I would like to open the Q questions from the audiences, maybe 3 questions. Apakah ada pertanyaan dari pihak audiens? Bila ada, monggo bisa raise hand atau bisa langsung tulis di chat box.
I think it's better if people talking.
Okay, sure.
Practice the speaking.
People speaking, boleh. Siap. Monggo Bapak Ibu, mungkin ada pertanyaan, monggo bisa langsung raise hand aja. Mungkin kita juga ingin belajar bahasa Inggris juga nih, Bu Harnida dan teman-teman, seperti itu, untuk mengasah speakingnya juga. Monggo teman-teman, silakan. Waktu dan tempat saya persilakan. Apakah ada yang bertanya? Kalau nggak, nanti saya yang bertanya nih. Enggak, betul. Oke, ada tuh. Baik, ada Pak Arif, silakan Pak Arif. Pak Arif Vera, silakan. Oh, Bu Arif Vera, silakan Bu Arif.
Di-unmute dulu, Ibu.
Oh, masih mute Ibu, punten. Suaranya belum terdengar Bu Arif.
Sudah unmute.
Oke.
Iya, sudah unmute.
Oke, baik. Silakan Bu Arif.
Iya, terima kasih. Good morning, Miss Harnida. I'm Vera from Magetan, Ibu.
Ya, Vera.
Yes. We know leadership in government is not as flexible as in business companies. Alhamdulillah, I have 5 experience in business companies. Yeah. In general, employees are still servant of leadership. Facilities such as computer and information system, we don't have IT department. Maybe we have this Kominfo, but not like in business perusahaan bisnis gitu ya Bu. Kemudian if in business companies, we are free to choose employees based on skill, but in government organization, we are not free to choose employees. Although there are people, maybe the employees can learn about to increase the skills. Can Agile leadership be applied in government? I think it's difficult, ya Bu. Yeah,
Right.
thank you.
Bu Harnida mau
Oh ya, okay.
pertanyaan lain?
No, that's
juga?
fine. That's fine. While waiting for others to respond, you can ask questions or comments, or just let me know what are the things that we need to improve in the future in terms of my delivery. So yeah, I think it happens in any regions. We in Central Sulawesi also have the same facts that the operations in private and government institutions just different. However, the show must go on. Although 2 organizations have different characteristics, But as leaders or the member of organization, we have to work together to at least to try to change the culture that already embedded very, very strong in our institutions. Because, yeah, that's one of the things that in terms of recruitment and selection of employee or member of organizations, private and governmental institutions, plays a different system. In private, selection and recruitment is more realistic or based on the need of the job, because the recruitment followed, or before the recruitment, the organizations perform job analysis first. So they already know for these positions what capabilities that are needed, what kind of people that we need to do this, what skills that we need to emphasize to select people or person for this job. But the selection method in governmental organization, I think, is not the same. So many people or new staff, let's say, they get accepted, but they don't even have table to sit and work. Is it correct? So many people just being accepted as a part of the institutions, but they don't have any space to sit. Let's say, halo apa kabar with the job, gitu. Belum lagi about like cultural influence, like nepotism, like people just forget the priority. People sometimes not considering about the long-term effects of putting wrong people, in a place, not picking the right people in the right place. Right, like interpretation of people about the right people, choosing the right people in the right place is somehow different also, in my opinion. Not all people will stress the result of the work, but they may think that, if this person, I put this person in these positions, at least she or he can communicate to get the other work done, social circle and stuff. But the thing is, we cannot be in that situation forever. Yes, we all realize that there are differences. Of course, we all accepting that. We cannot deny that. It's real. It's happening. But then, are we going to be silent? Are we going to be just like, there's nothing we can do about it. Just let it go. Let's just do something else. But the thing is, the thing that I always mention to my students, my magister and doctoral student, is that by your existence in that kind of institution, and now you are conducting the study for, the degree, it is your chance to make changes, from small changes. Do not very ambitious to like doing the revolutionary changes, because it's been embedded for years. It's been a part of organizational culture. Remember, changing the culture cannot be revolutionary. It should be incremental, because not everyone will say that. Like, okay, next year we cannot, we have to change the committee, recruitment committee, the selection committee, because it's been proved that the last recruitment just get, wrong people. We have to change this. Oh, you're going to have so many, complaints and resistant to that. But maybe some approach, effective approach, we can seek help and assistance from people who we consider have better communication skills, maybe seniors who is respected in that community, can be heard, that people will go to him or her to seek for advice, for example. Yeah, because we have to do that. The thing is, in organizational level, some transformation needs to be done, like get like regulations more strict to people, like to have this team of supervisory board teams who is taking responsibility to monitoring, the process, every process, especially in recruiting the new employees, for example. Independent parties. If, for example, all these years, like the selection, recruitment isn't going very well, so one of the strategy may be to get people from external institution to be involved. However, this alternative might occurs like additional funding, and time, and also maybe some efforts to find the right stakeholders to collaborate with, So there is always a good and, not too good, situations. However, improvements should be done in small teams, with small people, doing the approach, to respected people, and find collaboration from external parties. So, yeah, I think that's are the things. So maybe you want to say more about that, or maybe I haven't got your main idea probably.
Monggo Bu Arif, mungkin ada yang mungkin kurang jelas dari penjelasannya dari Bu Harnida. Mungkin ada yang mau ditanyakan, monggo silakan.
Insya Allah sudah jelas.
Sudah jelas.
So the conclusion is that maybe Agile leadership still difficult ya, gitu, to implement in government, but we can start from ourselves. Noten ya Bu.
Right. Agile leadership is probably difficult in some situations, but still possible to perform. As I said, maybe from small staff, from small people, and small steps. If revolutionary movement is not possible to do at the time process. Thank you.
Baik, terima kasih untuk pertanyaannya, Bu Arif. Mungkin kita buka lagi untuk 2 more questions in this panel. Is there anybody who would like to raise questions? Just try to raise your hand and we'll pin your name. Silakan, mungkin ada pertanyaan lain.
Okay, and while waiting for, oh my God.
Okay. Monggo Bu Harnida.
While waiting for another people to engage in this discussion, I would like to add, like, I have a supervisory student in Magister program right now. I supervise her to research about the implementation of agile leadership in governmental institutions. and how to see whether how far the implementation goes at this time. So her respondents, informants are the governor, the municipality, some people who are in decision-making roles, just to ask them what are the challenges they might face, or what are their perspectives on developing their agility in leading the region. That's, I think, interesting. Yeah.
Okay. Miss Harnida?
Yes.
At what level does the leader give freedom to decide on policy? You know, in a government with like a top manager, like a kepala dinas, or a middle manager as a kepala bidang, like that. Can the leaders give staff to the freedom to decide the policy by passing the middle manager? Because you know, in the government, me at Puskesmas, sorry, I'm not kedinasan, but we have sometimes I have a middle manager. It's like lelet. So sometimes I need to talk with their staff, because they more agility, maybe like that. So am I wrong if I do like that?
Again, it's about culture, and we have to be aware that not everyone will be happy with the concept of agility. They will feel against. They will feel like you know, they will mark us as resilience, you know, and not resilience, like rebellion. Sorry about that. Or even unethical person. They will say that, dasar nggak tahu aturan ya, nggak menghargai bang. That could happen, you know. But I don't know, we have to think of mechanism to let them know that what the people needs is a fast, gercep movement in order to get the project done, or to get the, apalagi for example, in which the main service is hospitality, like connecting with people, you know, connecting with unhealthy people, connecting with sick people, that we have to get faster. We cannot just let people wait. Very, very sick person, for example, but we need to get this administration done before. I have to get this paperwork to my atasan gitu. But my atasan is when to have lunch, makan siang, and then after makan siang jemput anaknya, and then after that I don't know. So what is, you know, what will happen to these people? When a student have the research on that place, they will say that, the kinerja of this rumah sakit or this puskesmas is very, very bad. they will say that. And as I, you know, like, at the same time, I think it's about communication, about, you know, when we are not in the decision-making positions, that we frequently be in the situation that we have to get fast. That's going to be a dilemma. But especially when you are junior, it's going to be two-folded, you know. But if you have good interpersonal relationship with your boss, with the person who are in charge for taking most of decisions for your job, for your assignments, I think by phone that can be executed, you know, using the gadget, using the technology, chat, Even though sometimes people just, oh lama banget ya itu nungguin si bapak atau ibu itu replying on my chat. I have to get the answer quickly, but my chat isn't read yet. That kind to be. I mean, sometimes we can just cross the boundary in the emergency situation. However, we have to have the alibi, justification. We have to responsible why we did that, why we get this action, why, and that's going to be an issue to improve the operation in organizations. Well, not everyone open-minded. We have to agree to that. Not everyone like changing, because performing changing means you're gonna get your life in unstable situations. It's messy. It's unorganized. So some people don't like that. However, if one time they see the result, they see the hasil of that unorganized, unstable situations, they will say, oh iya ya, ternyata ya. Tapi it takes time, and it takes what we call the open heart, not only open mind, open heart also. We have to sometimes akan mengorbankan our own feelings, but it's about priority. And find somebody who can back you up. I believe there is one or two people in that organization who has the same vision to create the agile culture. Because, well, in the digital era, it sounds stupid, if I could say, if we cannot use any modes of communication. Apa sih gitu yang sekarang we cannot do with the technology? Even if we are in different countries, different times, we still can communicate. Yeah, but then it gets back to the person. And this needs, countless efforts. We cannot just for example, actually, I am so inspired by that agile thingy, but then in my working space, it doesn't seem possible for me to implement that. I'm just going to forget that. No. We have to have this encouragement. Okay, maybe this doesn't work. Maybe I'm going to try this. Maybe this time doesn't work. I'm going to try next time. So yeah, mulai dari our self lah gitu ya. Incrementally change, heroes are not always stand as heroes for everybody, but at least we contribute to the changing, to improve the situation. Ideal, maybe it's still far away, ideal situation, but yeah, have to motivate ourselves to be a strong person. I think that's yeah. Ini sih sebenarnya hanya kita perlu saling menguatkan deh kalau menurut saya. Because we all facing difficult situations. We know the theory, we know the concept very well, and we have the willingness to implement. But we have faced the situation that not everybody happy with the ideal situation, or maybe not everyone will running at the same pace, gitu loh. They accept that, they want it, they also believe that that's the good thing to have, but okay, but yeah, gitu ya. Menjadi seorang yang set God set gitu juga not always good in everybody's eyes. Sometimes we will be marked as arrogant, nggak mau melibatkan orang, gitulah. Tapi anyway, anyway, we are dealing with human. We are not dealing with machine. We are not dealing with robot, right? So there is always that, downside of our business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the question, Ms. Stuti. So we are moving on to the last questions from the audiences. Is there any questions that you would like to raise? Apakah ada pertanyaan dari Bapak Ibu sekalian? Monggo. Silakan raise hand. Oke, dari Bu Ratna Ika. Monggo Bu Ratna Ika.
Okay, thank you. We have in our environment in Puskesmas, we have system to anticipate the change. We have a regular meeting, mini lokakarya Puskesmas bulanan. We discussion about the problem that about the new regulation, about we can reach the target, so we can plan new planning, or we can innovate something to solve the problem. But sometimes there are no problem that we can solve because the policies that not can be implemented because human resources is minimalist. But the about kepala dinas or they memaksakan ya.
Enforce.
Force we to do it, but we can sometimes make our prime task ya, tugas-tugas utama kami akhirnya terbengkalai. Nah, how we can manage that? Thank you.
Thank you. So it seems that I also get that in my daily routine. We have to be a very good planner. We have to be very strong to get all the job done. We have a main primary job, but it seems that additional works, additional assignments are more beyond our main job, like for example, as a lecturer, we have teaching, we have research, and we have to do community services. But at the same time, there are some documents needs to be done at the same time. So sometimes the teaching has to be rescheduled. And we have to spend much time to discuss with the teams about the first work, second work, and the third. And we have to believe that because we are limited by the time and the limitation of us as the executor, it is correct that not all the problems can be solved accordingly. However, some efforts to get it done should be followed, So sometimes the regulations and the practice contradict, or we cannot just implement the regulation right away because we're not ready yet. That's for example. So that the leader will say that, oh, okay, if you cannot follow the rules, it means you're going to get punished then. Well, that's especially when the leader isn't provide you with necessary facilities to get your job done. But I think that the regular meeting coordination is a good way to make sure that all people have the same vision. All people, directly or indirectly related to the job is, understand of the situations. So by communicating, I believe, still the main tools of whatever we have in the situations. And also to teach lessons to the leaders who have the enforcement. Well, actually, like enforcing the law to people is not totally wrong if you follow that policy to enable people to obey the rules gitu. You set the new rule, but tidak diberikan facilities untuk memudahkan pemenuhan rules itu gitu. That's something that we need to think about. And sometimes it needs time because it involves a new regulation, always need another new regulations because it's gonna get new resources, people, financial, facilities, material and immaterial also. So yeah, it's not about black and white, but it's complex. It's multi-dimensional. And that's why agile ability, the agility of, but I believe more on personal agility to compromise the complexity in organization is much more needed. If we are not stressful on the situation, if we still able to keep the spirits to get the situation better, I think that's one of the things that we all have to have. Yeah, because as I said, the structure, even though like in concept we say we're gonna leave the tall structure, hierarchy, bureaucracy, but still in the practice it's not fully implemented yet. There are some obstacles in setting up the ideal situations. So I think, feel free if anyone wants to have some thoughts and points, wants to respond to the questions, wants to add my, opinions, feel free.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Ibu.
Okay, thank you so much, Ms. Harnida and Ms. Ratnaika, for a delightful session in terms of the question and answer. So before we just try to close our guest lecture for today, I would like to just try to menyerahkan untuk acara ini kembali ke MC untuk selanjutnya akan dipandu oleh Miss Wike Inah Nurlaili. Baik, terima kasih. Yes, ma'am. Oke, waktu dan tempat saya persilakan ke MC, silakan untuk Mbak Wike.
Baik, thank you so much Bu untuk Mrs. Harnida. And before we end our session today, please for the participants to open the cam untuk sesi foto bersama.
Biasanya ada hitungan ya.
Untuk halaman pertama, baik, 1, 2, 3. Untuk halaman yang kedua, saya mulai 1, 2, 3. Untuk halaman yang ketiga, saya mulai 1, 2, 3.
Terus balik lagi ke Mas itu Unesa setelah di dekat.
Untuk yang halaman 4, saya mulai 1, 2, 3. Dan untuk yang terakhir, 1, 2, 3. Lalu untuk yang slide pertama, yang bersama Mrs. Harnida, mengucapkan
Unesa setelah jargon.
jargon kita, yaitu UNESA satu langkah ke depan. Di depan. Mohon maaf, saya ulangi. UNESA satu langkah di depan. Oke. Baik, bisa kita mulai. Saya hitung. 1, 2, 3.
UNESA satu langkah
di depan. Baik, terima kasih untuk Bu Harnida dan para participants. And now we've come to the end of this meeting. We would like to thank you for being part from this quest lecture. And let's close this meeting by saying Hamdalah. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin.
Alhamdulillah.
Master of Ceremonies would like to thank and apologize to all those participants that took part in this meeting. If there are any deficient word or actions, please accept my apologizes. I, as a Master of Ceremonies today, got to left out, and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Mohon Bapak dan Ibu, mohon maaf lahir batin ya.
Mohon maaf, terima kasih banyak.
Terima kasih, Ibu. Terima kasih, Masya Allah.
Asinda.
Asik. Aman.
Terima kasih, Bu.
Ya, aman.
Thank you, Bu.
Thank you. Izin live ya. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam.
Waalaikumsalam.
Waalaikumsalam.